Good morning.
Another Tuesday is here.
Happy Tuesday. Oh my gosh.
How
Hi,
are you
Mackenzie.
today?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited. How about you?
I'm excited to talk about disappointment.
Well, and the fact that we're going to talk about how to keep going when things just don't go right, which
Yeah.
is every day.
Do you want to go over all of your ins and outs, your housekeeping rules real quick, and then we'll get started?
Yeah, of course. Good morning, everyone. We're so excited for y'all to be here. If you are joining us on Facebook from StreamYard, if you can click the link and allow StreamYard access so we can see who we're talking to. Good morning, Jamie. Oh, we're so excited to be here today because although we're focusing on a lot of sad, bad, depressing things in true Justin Athena fashion, we're going to turn it around and make it fun and exciting. So
That's right.
Jump in.
Yeah, so we're talking about disappointment today and how to move forward, because I think that it's inevitable that in this unpredictable market, we're facing disappointment. We're facing disappointment in our personal lives. We're facing disappointment with our clients and in our business. I think that anytime you're an entrepreneur, anytime you run a business, you're going to face disappointment, because to be an entrepreneur, you're a visionary. And anytime that vision gets skewed, it automatically just breaks your heart in half sometimes. So there's lots of different types of disappointment, right? It comes in all kinds of different shapes and sizes. And when we were talking about this earlier, and I was like, Jess said it comes in the shape of a circle. I said it comes in the shape of a triangle, because you get all the way to the top and then all of a sudden you have something pokey in your ass and you fall off.
And I think too, a lot of this, and a lot of this today, isn't, it's not always just disappointment or, disappointment in yourself or people or anything around you. Some of it is not stuff that you can control. So there's no reason to be disappointed, but there is stuff that's going to, go wrong every day. That's going to happen. That's going to be bad. And, what can we do to get over it and get through it?
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, disappointment is the number one confidence breaker. You're going good, you've got your day going, you've gone over your schedule, you've done your exercises, and then the phone rings and your client's offer didn't get accepted. And you're like, well, fuck, now I had this whole day planned and everything was going to be perfect, and now it's not. What do I do?
Mm-hmm. Or your kid's school calls. You go.
Yeah. Oh, I've got $2 million showings today. And then my kid thinks it's cool to get caught in the bathroom having a fight, or that didn't really happen. I have good kids. But if this was like 3 years ago, that probably would have happened. But yeah, and then what do? Your whole day is skewed.
Yeah.
So we're just talking today about how to make it past that, how to grow from it, and how to just stay on track. So I think that there's three main types of disappointment. There's all kinds, but we've kind of grouped it together. Do you want to start with like some of the disappointment, like the main disappointments, like little tiny things that have gone wrong or that can go wrong?
Yeah, and I mean, I think that, there's a lot. I don't know what your 3 items, or categories or what, that is, but I'm thinking, there's a lot of things that are just out of our control, like a lot of natural disasters. We have mentioned it previously on an episode that our area got hit really bad with a hurricane, in 2018, Florence, and, a lot of our town flooded or had water damage, and we lost a lot of homes. And for a hot minute, it really affected the real estate market as well as our personal lives. Our kids were out of school for months. There was, it was just one of those domino effects, and it happened and it affected a lot of things. And in that time, if we all just sat around and curled up in a ball crying, then that's the only thing that would be happening in our world, right? And you really can't just focus on that. What a lot of us really focused on and how we got through it was our community really came together and just shined brighter than ever. And anytime that stuff like that happens, like when 9/11 happened, I think that the world came together in a place, in a way that had never happened before. So if you can just, find that tiny little light from inside yourself and outside of the world, it can really change the outcome of your life. If you only focus on the negativity and the bad stuff, that's all you're going to see.
Yeah. I think the world could use a silver lining right now.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that, that's all the time and always. And, with the natural disasters and stuff is a lot of other stuff that you just can't control, like in our business, where we're the master, we're the, the big piece of the puzzle. And a lot of us, are the sole providers of your family, or, being commission based and stuff. It's a lot of weight on your shoulders, right? Because you can't always control it. And what happens if you were to get sick, or somebody in your family was, and you were going to have to take care of them? Now, not everybody is on a team or a traditional team or an informal team where they have people that can just jump in and help. And even if you can, your income is going to take a hit. I don't care who's there to help you.
Sure. People are going to
And
help to an extent, but
yes.
we all have our own businesses too. I mean, you have to be prepared for that.
Yeah, and that's really hard, because a lot of people in real estate are not running their business like a business.
Right.
Good morning, Jen.
I have, so basically my 3 types of disappointment are probably going to be where year 6 get put into place. I think
I don't have
more.
6. You said 3 and 3, so I said 6.
Oh.
You were holding up 6 fingers.
Oh, okay.
I was just teasing you.
I don't know how to math, obviously. My first general idea, though, it's arrival fallacy. And I didn't come up with that word because it's too smart for me.
That is fancy. That is fancy.
It came from a little Google search. I knew what the type of disappointment was, but I couldn't find the name for it. So I went to Google. But basically what that is that when we're entrepreneurs, and I'm going to use that word a lot today, but when it's no surprise, like we have goals, we set our goals. And like Jess was just saying, if you're running your business like a business, you know what it takes to get to those goals. We've talked about chunking it down. You know how many houses you need to sell to make this income, and that leads to how many calls you have to make and the contacts. And it all is this big triple domino effect, right? So with that being said, I think that we face a lot of disappointment when we get so lost in the what to do's and the tasks, the things that we have to do every single day, that we lose the sight of why we do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just this inside disappointment especially in this market right now. It is so easy to take a step back and be like, why the hell am I doing this every day?
Yep.
I asked myself that literally last week. Why am I doing this every day? And I took this past weekend and I basically shut my phone off to anything that didn't bring me joy. So Jess was the only person who could text me this weekend. But I did, and I did a lot of self-reflection of why am I doing this? And I went back to what my mission statement was. And my mission statement in real estate, and I could probably elegantly put this differently, but I do what I do to provide my family the life that they deserve. At the end of the day, when I have to look at real estate and why I wake up and put up with the bullshit that goes along with this career, it's because I want to provide my family with the life that they deserve.
Yeah.
So with that being said, when you get lost in the grind and you get lost in the hustle and bustle of everything, you're putting documents into compliance, sending that stuff in, you're calling your buyer clients to let them know that their 900, 10,000, 7,000, 4,000 offer got overbid. Again, even though they put in their best. And even though you presented it the best that you can, that stuff's disappointing. And you face disappointment every single day. But I promise you that if you keep your mission statement in front of you, if you print it out and put it on your vision board or save it to the background of your phone, like go into Canva and make it nice and pretty, you can remember when those sad, menial tasks that you don't love and that bring you disappointment, you can move forward with them by remembering your why.
And I think too that it's important, I think it's important to have a big why. And then I think it's important to have little goals that will really help you hustle. And a good way that we do this, Athena and I and our team in North Carolina and a lot of other people do, is we actually, we do our vision boards. And, this stuff really honestly helps create this little stuff, because you can have a big goal like Athena's, helping her family and stuff. And I mean, we all do. And even if you are real honest and, you got into real estate to make good money, okay, there is no reason to, always just say, I love helping people. We do. We all love helping people and stuff too, but we all want to make money, right? So that's a lot of people's goals, right? But if you break that down into little stuff and be like, I want to make money so that I can take my kids to Disney. I want to make money so that, I can buy an RV camper and our family can travel around and spend time together. Whatever those little things are, if you put them out into the world and you have them on here so that you see them and you're like, you know what? I don't care about that asshole that did that or whatever. I'm getting paid and this is going to happen. And I'm going to do it for my family and myself and my community and whatever else it is out there. Having those goals and the visions of the real whys broken down and in your face hole all the time to see it, it'll make a difference every day, because that way you can keep the shit out of it.
That's right. And you guys are going to see a running, what's the word I'm looking for? You guys are going to hear us say this at least 3 times today. Systems. When things don't go right and you start to get disappointed, when your system is in place and you know where to go to pick up where you left off, when you get disappointed, when somebody comes to you and say you run a team, Jess gave this example earlier when we were talking about this. You run a team and on Wednesday, you come into work and your transaction coordinator's nowhere to be found.
Yep.
Well, she had a mental breakdown and she is out in Mexico drinking pina coladas
and not coming back.
Feeling good. She's not coming back. If you don't have a system in place to pick up exactly where you got thrown off course, you will have to recreate your entire business.
Yep.
Don't let that happen. Run your business like a business. Have the systems in place and you can pick up somebody else. We hear this all the time. Everybody's replaceable. And that's the damn truth.
Yeah.
Make your systems so perfect or follow our systems that are so perfect that you can literally put a 5-year-old, that's not true. I've been a transaction coordinator. Make it so that someone else can step right in and pick up and go.
So having an SOP, which would be a standard operating procedure in place for everything in your business, will really help you in the long run. But something that's like a little bit beyond that and stuff is maybe you need a personal SOP.
But
And
you don't have to have a team to have an operating procedure.
yeah.
You should have it whether you have a team or not.
Yeah. And for every little part of your business, social media, buyers, listings, whatever, every single little part of your business, somebody should be able to come in, pick it up and take over and help you away, or you can take that part back. But even going beyond that, I know that probably the majority of people have an entire list of things that make them happy, right? So why not have an SOP of stuff that makes you happy? When shit hits the fan and life is in turmoil and you're depressed and you're sad, what is that list of items that makes you happy? What if you just grab that out and you're like, okay, I'm going to pick one thing. This is what I'm going to do.
Well, that's the same as, if you get to the fifth, a lot of people call this the 15th protocol. If you get to the 15th day of the month and you haven't made your goals, you go into this list of lead generation ideas of how to make that goal.
Right.
And that's very similar. If you're having a bad day and you need to turn that shit around, go in and look at this list like Jess is talking about. And that list could have things like care calls to clients. Call and ask them if you've sold a home to an elderly couple that may be retired here. Call and ask them, hey, is there anything I can do for you guys this week? I'm getting ready to put in a grocery order. I can put one in for you. There's tons of things you can do. Email one of your kids' teachers and be like, hey, do you need help in the classroom? Like, what can I do to offer my services? There's tons of things that you can do just to make your heart happy.
Yeah.
And you make a difference.
And you can even, add things to your list that are like, go have lunch with your friends and have margaritas. Put it on your list. It makes you happy. It makes your heart whole. Do it. Yeah. You got to do it. If you don't do more of the stuff that makes you happy, then you are going to be focusing on all the shitty stuff because that's your life. That's what you're bringing in. That's all you see. That's all that's going to happen. You have to make more time for the fun stuff. If you are like me and music makes you happy and you want to turn up the music and jam out, if you need to go drive around and just play your top 100 playlist, then freaking do it. If you need to blast it at the office and have a dance party, then do it.
And if other people look at you like you're weird, they're the weird ones.
They're the weird ones.
If people don't join into your dance party, you should probably find a different friend.
And that's another thing that needs to be, that's something that's huge and pivotal. I think I just made that word up. To making pivotal, though, I don't think that's the word. I think it's pivotal with no B in the middle. But having a squad, a group, your tribe of people, wherever they are, they can be all around the world, but to have that group that you're like 911, we need to get together. Like how often it's been a little bit, but our group of friends and stuff, when COVID and stuff happened and we missed each other and we couldn't see each other, we jumped on freaking Zoom and we got together and we had wine together and hung out and talked and vented and just had each other. And it made a huge difference.
And I also in the middle of the Zoom call, I also went on Facebook and found a picture. No, I didn't. I went on the MLS and I found a picture of Jess's house and I made that the background of my Zoom.
Your Zoom.
So it looked like I was literally at Jess's house, even though I was at my own house, and it was really funny.
It was at my old house too, though, wasn't it?
Maybe you had to be there.
Jen says thanks for making her cry now.
Okay, well then we'll change the subject.
We're here, Jen, all the time whenever you need to talk to us. And we really want to be you guys as friends. We're here for you. We're closer to some of you than to others, but we really are here. If something is causing a fire in your life and you just need someone to vent to or talk to, just send us a Facebook message and be like, hey, do you got 10 minutes? Let's just hop on a Zoom call so we can see each other face to face. Heck, yes, we will do it. We are on FaceTime or Zoom all day long with someone.
That's true. And if you're not friends with us on Facebook, I'm accepting
why not?
New friends. I'm accepting new friends all the time.
Wait, why would we not be friends?
I think there's some people I'm not friends with.
Well, they better be. Tell them to get on here. Oh, so speaking of Zoom, really quick, I just got to jump in here because your last name says Kappa Ho Ho.
I know, it was like that last week too.
I know, but not on. Was it on StreamYard?
Yeah, it was. I didn't change it.
I love it. Oh my
Nobody
gosh.
can get it right, so I might as well go with it.
It's true. I just pretty much give up after Cap.
What about when other people disappoint you? Because you can't control that.
So is life.
Or can you? You can control it, actually. So in real estate, we have to keep this entire transaction together. Like, we are the hub of the transaction. Yeah. It's kind of like the the 7 circles of Kevin Bacon, right? Everything comes back to Kevin Bacon, who I don't know who he is.
What? Yes, you do. Footloose?
No, I don't.
Footloose? There's no way you don't know who Kevin Bacon is.
I've never watched Footloose.
Okay, well, and that's the end of our podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
But seriously, okay, so everything comes back to you as the agent because you're your client's main point of contact.
And it's 7 degrees of separation is what you're referring to.
There we go. But you have a lender who is working on the financial aspect of the transaction. You have the attorney who's working on, or the title company, depending on your state, who's working on the legal portion of your transaction. You have an insurance agent who's trying to keep your clients happy and keep their payment down and give them what they need. You have a co-broke who you don't have a lot of control over.
Right.
But
or your clients, let's be real, we can't control that.
That's true too. But setting your expectations up front is the number one way to not get wrapped up in getting disappointed with other people. If you are working with a lender or you're working with an attorney, there's no reason that you can't have a conversation up front. And in fact, those people will appreciate you because just like you choose who you work with, they can too. They're entrepreneurs just the same. They're running a business too. But make sure that your visions align. Make sure that your values align. Make sure that they know how you work and how you want your clients treated and that they feel the same way. And by doing that, you automatically take out this little piece of disappointment of people who don't work to your standard. There's nothing worse than putting your all into a transaction and having someone on the other side that's like, well, I mean, it's just another transaction. And you're like, no, this is my life. This is how we do.
People are going to disappoint you. Everybody disappoints you. Your family's going to disappoint you. I mean, everybody is never going to be perfect and they're never going to know exactly what you want, what you need. And they all have their different reasons for doing everything, but you can't control others. And the minute that you start to realize that, and you might need that, learn that over and over and over every day. But the minute that you start realizing like, that's them, that's on them. What I'm going to do with that is what's going to make me happy. Okay. So when you overcome that, and know that you can't control them, you just do what's going to make you happy, pull out your happy list, and move on.
That's
Put
right.
your big girl pants on, your britches.
And you never know, like you might be the change in somebody. You might have like this transaction with a co-broke who is brand new. Let's go that way. I didn't know how to go with that. You might have a transaction with a co-broke who is brand new. It's a brand new listing agent and their best friend wanted them to list their house. And they have dropped the ball 7,000 times. Be the better person and just offer to help. Come from a place of care and a place of value instead of a place of judgment. Because we've all been brand new. We all had a first transaction. I still remember mine. I barely got paid. Because I was like ready to give it away at the table just to make it happen because I didn't know what else to do.
And, let's be real too. It's way easier and way quicker to just tell somebody to F off than it is to actually turn it around and find out how you can help that person. Maybe that person needs help or, kill them with kindness.
Yeah. And I think one of the important things when you're feeling disappointed in somebody else is to get perspective from an outside point of view.
Yeah.
Now, there's a difference between getting perspective and just all out bitching.
Right.
Like, don't go to somebody with the intention that they're going to back you up 100%. Find somebody who can be a sounding board for you, who will really say, like, Athena, your head is stuck in your ass right now. Pull it out and remember you were new once too.
Yes. And I think we're really good about, like, before we make a big decision or something, we go to each other and we have the other person iron it out and, talk us down a little bit and think about it. And, is this really what you want to do? Is that really what you want to say? Are you sure? And, just have that sounding board, like Athena said, really makes a difference because we're quick to go.
It's so easy right now in this market to be so reactive.
Yes.
You have to be. Things that, you used to be able to wait and see how they kind of planned out, or you can't do that anymore. Your clients have to be reactive. You have to be reactive, but you also have to be conscious of how you're reacting.
And to have the full story because, a lot of times we don't know what's going on the other side. We don't know why that agent's being shitty. We don't know why the seller's being difficult. We don't know what's going on with our client. But taking the time to take it all in, talk it out, see what needs to be done can really make a big difference. It might add an extra, couple of days or 10 minutes onto a conversation, whatever that may look like. But taking that time to investigate and see what the bigger picture is could really make a big difference at the end of the day.
And you basically have two options if that doesn't work. If all of this doesn't work, you have two options.
Punch them.
You can
not.
You have one option. You can just go have drinks or something.
A lot of people don't drink. We are not telling everybody to become alcoholics. I do not want to be responsible for that. We do talk about drinking a lot. It is a problem.
We do. I actually had two really good ideas, and they totally skipped my mind because I was waiting my turn to talk like a good person does. But when they come back to me, I will tell you because they really were really good.
So something else that will keep you, happy and positive and motivated and just keep you going when things aren't going right is to connect to some sort of motivational output, right? So you can listen to motivational speakers like Tony Robbins,
Brene Brown,
Marie
Forleo.
Yeah,
Jeff Cassidy and Athena Capahoho.
You can read, you can listen, you can send us messages. We love you all. But, really just finding something that, you really connect with, motivates you. Read the Bible if that's your thing, whatever it is that you can connect with, maybe, daily or weekly or something, find that motivational connection that just gives you that extra boost. I love motivational, content on my stories. I post a lot of motivational, just little like 2 words or so in my Facebook stories almost every day. It makes me happy. It's like kick ass today or, just something. I just feel like I need it and I do it for myself and for others, but I get lots of compliments on them in my messages.
Well, you never know when those little words are going to make a difference to somebody.
And they hit everybody different too, but just seeing it, that kick-ass one, like to me, I'm like, that's it. I'm going to go slay the day. But somebody else might be like, yeah, I'm going to get through this illness today. I'm going to, it's going to pick me up or, everybody sees it differently. And that's what's cool.
Yeah. So we talked about disappointment in other people. We talked about disappointment in the everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
What about the disappointment? I call this the wedding day blues. Anybody who's been married knows exactly what I'm talking about. You have this big day planned. You go, you get your hair done, you get your makeup done, you have all your photos done, you have your big fancy feast, you have your champagne toast, you have your beautiful cake, and then you go home or to a hotel, wherever you go. And the next day you wake up and you're like, what the fuck just happened? Where's my life? So let's put that into real estate terms. You put all of your time and you realize, oh shit, I have 7 houses under contract right now, and I'm going to close all 7 in the next 30 days. You kind of forget to get into your systems. You kind of forget because you're so in what's happening. Your life is revolving around these 7 transactions.
Treading
Well, then
water.
they all close the same week, and you've got nothing on the table.
Mhm.
And you're like, great, I just did something great, and I closed 7 transactions in 1 month, but now I have nothing on the table, and now I'm a big failure. And you're disappointed in yourself. You're left wondering, like, what's next? Or in other words, like, say you have a big project, like you're planning a big client appreciation event, and it's a big Christmas party. After that's over and you're like, oh, I put so much time and effort into this, I forgot everything else that's going on. And then you're left disappointed, like, okay, now I have to do this all over again for Easter. And that's just something that we as real estate agents, unless you're working a system and keeping things constantly going, you're going to face.
The
And it's
hamster
hard.
wheel.
It is. And it's hard to get off of it. Even when you have systems in place, it's still going to happen. That's the reality.
Yeah.
But I guess my biggest piece of advice for that is to just always keep a big vision. Always keep your next creative move. Always know what's going to happen next, and just keep your systems the best that you can. Work them. Work your leads. Work your database. Make sure that even though you have all of this going on, that you're still remembering the little day-to-day stuff that's going to keep your business going. And if you can't, it's a good indicator that you're probably ready to hire some help.
And that's growth. And growth comes from these challenges and the disappointments, and things getting hard creates that growth for you to take that time and maybe bring somebody into your team, part-time, or, they could be commission based, or, an ISA, anything. But whatever that looks like for your business is growth. It takes you to the next level of your life, which doesn't always have to be, creating a team or whatnot. But, maybe working on your exit plan to exit real estate. That's growth.
Or maybe it's creating a new program, a new coaching program, or maybe it is creating a new system. There are tons of people who have different streams of income that aren't sales.
Correct. Yeah.
So maybe, like Jess said, it's time to start looking at some of those.
And so that you can work on your plan to go join your transaction coordinator drinking those pina coladas. Right?
If she wants you. She probably left for a reason. You might want to go to a different island.
So, I think that, our big takeaway today is how to keep going when things get really shitty is to do more of the stuff that makes you happy, to have your goals in front of you, to look at them all the time, to focus on the smaller things to the big picture. Just do happy, be happy. If you're not happy, find the shit that makes you happy, do it, and you're going to be happy. That's how it works.
And spend the time that you deserve to self-reflect. If you're not going back and self-reflecting on what's going on, you're going to get lost.
Yeah.
And being lost in the sauce is not the place to be right now. There's way too much money. There's way too much opportunity to leave on the table to be lost in your own mind.
And find the people to connect with that make you happy, that will help, encourage your business, help you grow to be a better person, and brings you that happiness and that joy, like us. We're here for you.
That's really all I got today.
That's it, friends. Today's going to be a little bit shorter, but we really want to end it on a happy note. So if we're not friends, which is crazy, let's be friends. Let's hang out and bring a little joy into your life. Jam that music loud.
So we're going to go listen to probably Kesha. Does that sound good? Kesha?
Yep.
And see if we can talk the Mexican place into delivering tequila.
Bingo. All right, friends. So we will see you next Tuesday.
See you next week.